whatoplay presents the top 10 PS4 Metroidvania games of all time, arranged by PlayScore. The PlayScore is an average of gamer and critic ratings, and when a game only reaches the minimum requirement of critic or gamer reviews, it receives a provisional PlayScore. First on our list, and number 10, AlBoy. This right here is a love letter to pixel art and many iconic platformers of the classics, and AlBoy definitely came as a pleasant surprise in the indie community. 10 years in the making now, what started as a mere Kickstarter campaign gave rise to this fascinating adventure about a mute owl who saves his sky town from falling apart. The gameplay is fairly simple and revolves around you flying across the skies in a 2D plane, navigating through the treacherous rooms, and using your friends as your weapons. Yes, you heard that right. You grab your friends as your weapons to earn unique abilities that not only help you deal with pesky enemies, but also help you traverse through tricky areas. And its intuitive grab mechanic comes as a plus because it lets you pick up any object on the fly. And this game not only comes with an engaging platforming gameplay, it also offers an emotional story-driven narrative that will surely tug at your heartstrings. And its success garnered the game with a ton of praise, which includes PS Universe giving the game a 9.5, saying that AlBoy is a breathtaking masterclass in platforming adventure. And did we mention the game's beautiful soundtrack? It receives a play score of an 8.54. Number 9, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. Okay, we've been talking about this game in every indie or platformer video we have, and that's because Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom never fails to deliver. This spiritual successor to the iconic Metroidvania classic Wonder Boy is a fantastic game that reimagines the old adventure into brand new heights. So what you gotta do is help Monster Boy Jin overcome his fears and explore this magical world of secrets and deadly monsters. And in this game, you transform into 6 various forms that come with unique abilities to traverse around its cursed lands. And each of the 6 forms will help you achieve numerous goals, depending of course on your playstyle. For example, the pig form grants you the ability to find secrets and hidden pathways due to its sensitive snout, and the snake form can stick through walls and corners, making traversal relatively easier. And once you've gotten the hang of the numerous forms, the game then tests you to combine their mechanics and solve a myriad of puzzles. Add to that, Video Chumps gave it a 9.1, saying that the amount of challenging fun packed into its massive and enjoyable world makes every moment of gameplay an absolute joy. So I guess there's no debate here, the game receives a play score of 8.58. 8. Steamworld Dig 2. This is a sequel to the classic platformer game heavily influenced by classic Metroidvania titles. And Dig 2 not only improves as a sequel, but it also brings more fun and complexity in its exploration and combat. So on paper, the game is fairly simple. Your mission is basically to dig, but it's even deeper than that. Pun intended. You can navigate around the tricky dungeons of this underground world and collect numerous materials so you can upgrade your equipment. And of course, the deeper you go, the more dangerous it becomes. So this is where all that handy puzzle solving abilities of yours and upgrades come in, so you can combine new tricks and plan as you plow your way ahead. Steamworld Dig 2 pays tribute to exploration more than ever before, that even reviewer Handsome Phantom gave it a 9.0, praising the game's seamless blend of combat, adventure, and puzzles, saying that its unique mechanics and innovative gameplay is a treat you don't want to miss. Now, alongside its beautifully hand-drawn art style, Dig 2 really excels as a Metroidvania and RPG, giving you the freedom to dig deeper into the abyss and unlock secrets along the way. It receives a play score of 8.68. Placing number 7 is Rogue Legacy. Now, this is an unlikely Metroidvania where you control a lineage of knights vying to reach the top of an ever-changing castle. Now, Rogue Legacy is a platformer that imbues this crazy element to its gameplay loop, which is every time you die, your offspring replaces your adventure. And not only will you be placed in someone else's shoes, its humorous genetic system gives your new character a different trait that might be an advantage or disadvantage to your quest. So your new character could be suffering from color blindness, making your whole world black and white, or ADHD transforming your knight into a warrior with blistering speed. And I guess this is where the charm of the game comes in, because each death gives you a completely new experience. Polygon gave this game a 9 out of 10, saying that Rogue Legacy's visual playfulness and willingness to tweak the gameplay with these traits builds a wonderful sense of discovery. In retrospect, this game did come earlier than Dead Cells, so it's no secret Motion Twin might have borrowed a few of their mechanics here. It receives a play score of 8.76. And 6, Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition. It's time to gear up with some spandex for this definitive edition of Drinkbox's award-winning Metroidvania game. And of course, we get back into the shoes of the brave luchador who won, as we are set to rescue the mayor's daughter from the Mexican land of the dead. And the Super Turbo Championship Edition has the same feel of its original, but of course with additional levels to spice things up a bit. COG Connected Scott Sullivan gave it a 9.0, citing that it packs in what everyone loved about the original while building on it enough to make it well worth tagging into the ring once again. And like many of its Metroidvania inspirations, Guacamelee's combat runs from a simple brawler into a thrilling platformer that requires skill and timing. And in destroying religious statues, you gain powerful luchador abilities that will help you in battle and unlock block paths. And I know it sounds simple, but trust me, Drinkbox Studios knows how to add flavor to its already engaging presentation. Marrying vibrant art style with Mexican tunes, this edition is worth picking up if you're a huge fan of challenging and fun Metroidvanias. It has a play score of 8.77. Placing number 5, we got Axiom Verge. Just like most Metroidvania titles, Axiom Verge offers a satisfying progression system that seamlessly weaves into its strange world. Here, as a scientist trapped in this mystifying dimension, you can use everything at your disposal to escape from this futuristic hellhole. And just like Super Metroid, you can navigate around this dangerous dimension by unlocking abilities and weapons along the way. And each weapon you find offers an advantage to every situation, like opening new paths, finding secrets, or giving the puzzle elements a time to shine. With its responsive controls, traversing around its world is really easy, but taking down the bosses proves to be a little bit more challenging, as you skillfully have to use your arsenal to gain the upper hand. ZTGD gave this a 9 out of 10, saying that it is an excellent callback to Classics title, which also brings its own flair and making a stamp on the genre. It's of course another good example of games borrowing retro elements while adding their own modern touch, and Axiom Verge does so well balancing 2 generations of gaming together into just one fantastic Metroidvania game. It has a play score of 8.78. At number 4, Salt and Sanctuary. Now, many have called this game a Souls-like game with Metroidvania elements, and they're really not wrong. Salt and Sanctuary is a challenging adventure that basically punishes you if you do not know what you're doing. And although it's evident there are numerous mechanics that they outright borrowed from Dark Souls, Ska Studios' 2D version of Dark Souls is a fantastic title that stands on its own. Polygon gave this a 9 out of 10, saying that it's a stellar adventure with enough moments of surprise and excitement to rival even its own source material. Here, you explore a gothic world and face off against monsters of varying shapes and sizes. And the gameplay is a brutal hack and slash that feels like DMC. You can connect light and heavy attacks or launch enemies into the air if you want some of those snazzy mid-air combos. And take note, equipping weapons is as important as constantly watching your HP bar. Also remember that each weapon offers a different advantage to different enemies and even bosses. Like the spear gives you an extended range of those safe pokes, while the sword can deliver a flurry of fast attacks to slow enemies. This game has a play score of 8.78. Numero 3, Hollow Knight Void Heart Edition. If Salt and Sanctuary felt like 2D Dark Souls, then Hollow Knight might just be the Dark Souls of Metroidvanias. Mixing brutal combat, fantastic boss fights, and a dark world full of hidden lore, we follow the story of this young knight trying to understand the meaning of its lost kingdom. So we enter into this bug-infested world where every portion of the map feels a lot different. And as a brave knight with a little sword, we embark on a grand adventure to uncover the mystery of the Hollow Knight. Push Square gave it a 9 out of 10, saying that the game delivers a sensational, mysterious journey which will undoubtedly test your platforming skills. And just like Metroid and Castlevania, you explore a labyrinthian world where every monster is determined to kill you. Along the way, you unlock powerful abilities and use them to traverse around its hostile environments with ease. This Void Heart edition comes with all the DLCs packed into one definitive version of the game, and though the story and combat remain unchanged, it's certainly still full of content. It receives a play score of 8.84. Banking the number 2 spot, we have Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. The Castlevania veteran Koji Igarashi is here to return and breathe new life into the Bloodstained universe. The game is complete with new lore and characters as we follow the cursed life of Miriam as she makes her way into an evil castle filled with paranormal voices. And just like the Symphony of the Night, your abilities prove useful with the game's Metroidvania elements. And with your demon powers, you can unleash this hellish blaze of power through your enemies. And even newfound abilities can be used as traversal elements to unlock new paths or find secrets, which gives exploration a much deeper focus. And just so you know, there are multiple ways to customize Miriam, all depending on your playstyle, of course. You can switch as you please from melee combat or ranged, as the game offers enough weapons and abilities to keep it feeling fresh. IGN gave it an 8.8, saying that there is no shortage of good Metroidvanias these days, but Bloodstained does show that Koji Igarashi's particular brand of Igavania still has teeth. It has a play score of 8.91. And the best Metroidvania game on the PlayStation 4 is none other than Dead Cells. Stylish? Check. Challenging? Check. Good replay value with strong Metroidvania elements? Also check. Dead Cells is Motion Twin's latest opus as they take a dip into the realm of roguelike platformers with a deeply satisfying progression mechanic and punishing combat.
Okay, I should be a bit more careful!
Go, Ernest. Oh, and he has minions as well.
Wow, I suck.
IGN gave this game a 9.5 out of 10, only 5 points away from perfect, praising the game's gameplay loop, saying that Dead Cells is rewarding in its flexibility in a way only few games are. And as many of you are aware, in Dead Cells, you don't just die. You respawn into an even powerful warrior with enough knowledge and upgrades to take down that one enemy that killed you in that dungeon. This game's procedurally generated world is bereft of secrets, making exploration necessary instead of just hacking and slashing your way through. Along the way, you can earn fancy blueprints and upgrades that help you on your adventure as it permanently becomes part of your progression. And that just makes each death all the more rewarding than the last. There's no game over here. This game deserves its play score of 8.93.